talk to you about a little article I came across from a Michael Horowitz at Computerworld, and the name of the article is Downfall of Microsoft, Changing User Interfaces on its most popular products is likely to alienate non-technical users. Now this article goes on to say that Microsoft has made what I think are mistakes there we go, in changing the user interfaces on its most two important products, Windows and Office. And it's doing its best to drive away existing customers, and the techies at Microsoft seem to lack the understanding of the needs of normal people, and thus may have started the company on its inevitable decline. I really can see their point of view, especially if you doggedly want to stick with XP and you want to learn one application and a certain way of doing things, and you're using your software as a tool, not for recreation, not to learn so much, but as actually get things done. I can understand this point of view. The opposing point of view that I want to offer is that I know for a fact that Microsoft and other software companies spend a lot of money doing usability testing and getting feedback from users as to what they want and what they like and what they don't. And they're trying to improve the software, especially as more and more new people come on board with Microsoft products, or certainly taking advantage of features and functionality of the software that they have. You take Microsoft Word, for example. There's features buried in Word 2003 that you had to really click around to find that are much more accessible, in my opinion, using the ribbon interface in Microsoft Word. So it's really there's a little bit of a learning curve when you upgrade from Office 2003 to Office 2007. But I've gotten used to the ribbon, and I have to admit I kind of like the ribbon interface. But certainly there is an argument to be made that for some, if they're just doing basic stuff and they're happy with it, that they don't like that. Is it Microsoft doing? I don't think so. I think it's a technological progress, and I think it's listening to customer feedback. That's my opinion. The article goes on to say that Computerworld may not take the place of this argument, as many readers no doubt enjoy playing with new software. I'm one of them. I'm a software junkie. I admit it. I love exploring new software, but I understand when it's time to get work done, I do. That's why I use this software as a tool as well. Now, so it goes on to say nothing more. As a consultant, I see this all the time in my clients, that he says, but others don't. I'm speaking of the vast majority of the world whose jobs are not IT related. These people may use computers and even need them, but they view them as a tool to get the job done. Nothing more. As a consultant, I see this happen all the time. Like me, working people think their computers and software they run as tools. Nothing more. And it goes on to make a really big point of that. And it goes on to say, for the most part, non-techies know Windows XP, they're comfortable with it, and changing it is a hassle, and perhaps one they can't afford and can't be bothered with. In Vista, lots of good stuff got moved around, although techies adapt normally to that sort of thing. Well, Microsoft was listening to, folks about the user interface of Windows, what they thought would be an improvement. Some of it is undoubtedly. I think Windows Vista is visually stunning. I think parts of it have been made easier to use than XP. That's always subject to debate. When you get into operating systems, XP versus Vista, and now Windows 7 and the Mac OS, everybody's going to have their likes and dislikes. But I think that there's been some usability improvements. I think the big jump in usability really comes from going from XP, and just forget about Vista for a second, and just go with Windows 7. Windows 7, I think, is, if you set somebody down that never used XP or used Windows 7, my opinion would be that many folks, I think, would find Windows 7 to be maybe a little bit easier used, a little bit easier to use. I'd sure like to know what your thoughts are on this. I think this guy is making an argument. He makes a good point about the UAC getting in your face in Vista. And I think Vista was kind of certainly I'm not alone in this opinion. Vista was probably a commercial failure in a lot of ways. People just didn't run out and buy Vista for the sake of upgrading. They got it on computers. Microsoft counts that as a sale of Vista, but it's a lot different than, if they would have had XP on, they would have bought the computer anyway. It didn't really matter. What you don't have is a lot of people going, man, I got to have Vista. I think Windows 7 will alleviate that at some point. But the sake of change, just for change's sake, now, he's also going on to say that it's not talking about the UAC, that it's not like Microsoft didn't know the UAC was ignoring. Well, I'll tell you, it's a lot better in Windows 7. They were trying to secure the harden the operating system. And, Vista or XP, properly secured, is pretty secure. However, for a lot of people don't have that expertise, and so it does have a lot of security holes in it. That was Microsoft's attempt to harden that. They learned. They learned from that. In Windows 7, UAC doesn't nearly get in your face like it does in Vista. It talks about how this pattern of change continued with Office, where in 2007 edition looks and acts drastically different from its predecessors, not to mention the new file formats. Okay, I'll give you that, but again, I think that's a matter of what, some of it certainly is what the usability labs come up with, and I don't know, you just kind of take it from there. It says, perhaps there are, and finally it finishes up this way, perhaps there are yardsticks by which the user interface in Office 2007 is judged better. My point is not to make that judgment. My point is simply that many people can't or won't change. Well, that's the beautiful thing. When Vista was released, XP did not quit working. Your Word Office 2003 or Office 2000 did not stop working. And it will continue to run after the next version of Windows. If you like what you got, stick with it. There's others that want to see improvement, and they want new usability, they want new features, and they want this. Is it going to be Microsoft's undoing? Could you make the analogy, well, the 57 Chevy was a popular car. It got you to and from. Should Chevrolet stuck with the 57 Chevy, the same body style, same everything for the last 50 years? I don't think so. So I think that, technology advances. Sometimes it's a good advance, sometimes they take a step backwards. But ultimately, we're moving forward. But for those who are happy with the status quo, there's no reason to change. Keep running your same Office apps and same operating system. They're not going to quit working. I don't think it's going to hurt Microsoft in the long term. I think that Vista, because it was poorly introduced into the marketplace with a lot of incompatibilities, drivers weren't ready, and it was painfully slow at times, that hurt Microsoft. Not so much maybe the changes under the hood, although some of the changes were made, in my opinion, for change's sake. Hey, I'd like to hear your opinions about this. If you like this video, give us a rating. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Bruce Naylor, your FrugalTech, and I'll talk to you later.